No, I'm an ANC member, for information. And I'll remain one until the end. But I will also be Mkondo Wesizwe, nevertheless. What a wonderful thing to say. Absolutely, I'm telling the truth. We are going to why I say so, but I won't say it now.
I can't even see my price today. Niggas been looking for eyes today. Never been looking for price today. Them season me. I cannot think about scrutiny. I make my flame of my business. I'm a brand of my business. Them season me. I cannot think about scrutiny. I make my flame of my business. I'm a brand of my business. I don't smoke.
Welcome on. My name is Lee. Today I'm having the spokesperson of Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League, Mr. Mbatha N, in TUT Sohanguve campus. Then we'll be articulating the issues in Paramount, such as the VAT increase, as well as the 2026 election that is coming up next year on local government election. Mr. Mbatha, greetings, how are you? It's been a very long time coming.
Yeah, hey, you've been wanting to see me. I had to come.
You've been delaying.
No, not necessarily delaying, but you know, we are not people of made.
Yeah.
But because of on the basis that I'm a spokesperson,
yeah,
I really do not have a choice but to obviously avail myself. And you made a mistake when you say I'm a spokesperson of Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League. I'm a spokesperson of Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement. Basically within this higher institution of learning. I
mean, talking about that, there's a transition that happened here on campus. It's now Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement from Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League. What happened?
So basically there are two. There's Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League as well as Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement. So Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement is to accommodate those that are in higher institutions of learning. And we have Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League that is there to accommodate those that are not studying. Not every young people is within higher institutions of learning. We have young people that are within corporate environments. We have young people that are roaming around the streets. There are young people that are on the ground that are fighting.
So basically it's not different from the youth command from the EFF? Because there was also a student command. So
you are saying that there's no difference between the
youth command and the student movement?
From our side or from EFF? I cannot be speaking.
Is it the same?
No, it cannot be the same. EFF has its own ideologies and Mkhonto Wesizwe has its own. So
no, in terms of bringing the communities in together with the students.
Yes, yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same. Because ours is also to engage people from the communities as well.
Okay.
So when we say Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League as well as Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement, I don't see any difference because we are all fighting the same thing, which is liberating the young people of this country. As well as liberating those that are not liberated. Adults, young people, like everyone.
So in basically, what proposed this idea of having the student movement? Because many people believe that also Flyod has an idea in terms of making the student movement, so as the youth command as well, as he established it in the student command.
You know what proposed the idea is the fact that we are aware that we have young people that are not within the higher institutions of learning. So when we're going to say Mkhonto Wesizwe Student Movement or rather Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League, it will leave a certain group outside. So when we say we have Mkhonto Wesizwe Youth League, you can also when you are a student from higher institutions of learning, you can also participate in the politics of Youth League if you are in a student movement. But we wanted to differentiate it in a sense that Youth League is for those that are not students, and student movement is operating within higher institutions of learning. Yes.
So in terms of, you explain more in terms of, you just said many people who are students as well outside the communities are not working. I mean, they've been complaining about this VAT increase and now would be reversed on the 1st of May. What's your take on that?
You know, for it to be reversed, it was a very conducive movement for the government to do, because you know we are in a situation whereby we have a high population of young people that are not working. South Africa has a high level of unemployment. So when you increase VAT, that means that you're not giving those people that like an opportunity for them to live. Remember, politicians in their own nature are there to, you know, to make the material conditions of everyone conducive and to improve the material conditions of people. When you increase VAT, then it means that you are saying that they must not eat, because when VAT increases, then the food prices also increases, like everything increases. So I think it was a very strategic move not to increase it. I think they did very well. They did, it was a just cause for, I can say blacks in particular, because when we look at young people, when we look at black people, Indian people, white people, the group that is suffering in terms of the group that is affected by this VAT increase is black people. So what I suggest the government should do, in my own opinion, is to ministers are earning a lot. So if the president can cut the salaries of the ministers and say, because the reason for the VAT to increase, I think it's the minister spoke something about the 28 billion that his budget could not meet. That's the reason why he wanted to increase VAT. So I think. So
when you articulate in terms of this, the minister's salary should be cut, how deep must they cut it?
Ministers are earning more than 100,000 a year, and we have deputy ministers in useless positions. We have also members of parliament that are earning. Let's speak ministers. Ministers earn 200 and something, and then we have members of parliament that are earning 100 and something thousand. And when you look at the meaningful engagement that those people need to have in parliament, those people are there just to sit. We have people in parliament has constitutes of 400 members of parliament, but when you go there, not every member is having a very meaningful engagement, an engagement that seeks to liberate African people. So they are just there to sit. So when a president can critically analyze that and say, members of parliament, their salary must be cut, ministers as well, their salary must be cut, and also do away with deputy ministers, because the government of national unity has brought to us the useless deputy ministers, because you find that there's a minister that has two deputy ministers in a very useless position, just because the president wanted to accommodate other political parties that are within the national government of national unity, which for me is a bogus arrangement that seeks to defy an image and integrity of South Africa and South Africans as well.
So you just alluded that in that cabinet there's no ideologies, there's nothing said that is making people great again. I mean, in so many things that we can talk about. Julius Malema once said, I think in the previous press conference that they had, he alluded that also in the MK they are just there for just being there. Also the thinking tank, which is known as Flyod Shivambu in the EFF, moved to Umkhonto Wesizwe. I mean, they placed the emotion with that confidence, which is immediate. Then there were remarks said by Julius Malema saying that there is nothing the MK cannot. I mean, the Progressive Caucus is not focusing to the reality of the masses. What's your take on that?
I feel like the president of the EFF, I respect the guy because ideologically as well, but sometimes he get a bit confused somewhere, because Julius Malema is a person of principles, but sometimes his principles shift when he needs his political party to be accommodated. So when you look at parliament, Julius Malema is the very same person who voted with DA and is the enemy number one of DA. He hates DA on the basis that he feel like DA is racist, they're pushing racism. But when you go to parliament, they are voting for certain things with the DA. When you go to certain municipalities, they vote with DA, So
but he alluded that he can be in the same bed with the DA in regards to whatever that the communities they do want. Maybe they vote emotion against the ANC in whatever they want to do, but they cannot be in the same cabinet. I mean, he alluded as
you cannot say you cannot be in the same cabinet with the DA, but when we vote in parliament, you are parliament. I
think those are the reasons why he never joined GNU. The EFF never joined GNU because the DA is there.
Parliament is where decisions have been made. Parliament is where bills has been forwarded, and the bill end up being a policy, end up being an act that will automatically affect all the South Africans. So when you vote with someone that you say is enemy number one, what does that mean? Because this is where decisions are made. Parliament is where decisions are made. So when Malema says, no, we are just voting with the DA in parliament, it's a bogus arrangement. It's nonsensical. How
they are the ones that also with the DA that took this case of VAT into court, and they seem to own it.
The EFF took it to court.
Yes, and the DA as well.
It's only 2 political parties that did so, if I may ask.
Yeah, by the look of things. By the look of things.
No. Don't come with opinions. Let's engage facts. Are you sure?
Let's just say for now, I'm sure, because they're the ones in the forefront of this.
Okay. No, you're not sure. You are not sure. I think it's not. I've not made my research about that because politics in South Africa, they are playing out. Sometimes you end up saying, I'm not gonna dwell much on the ideas and whatever that is being opposed or rather proposed. So because I feel like at some point they definitely going to affect us, but these politicians sometimes will come up with their stories, man. Hence you are not even sure if it's EFF and DA that voted for the VAT not to be increased.
No, they took it to court. And they won the case, of which this is the reason why it's been reversed.
First of all, look, my brother, ANC and DA.
Yes.
They are in government of national unity.
And the DA seems to say that we were against this thing. Remember the ANC
They're
also
confused.
Remember the ANC once said they engaged with the DA in terms of they take the 1% and they also take the 1%.
It's a discombobulation of some sort. Like they're confused, literally, my brother. Because those people, look, my brother, when we say we are in government of national unity, my brother. When I start to take a decision as the president, obviously I will not go in public and announce something that I have never consulted with the people that are within that government. So we come together and we decide. And if there's a certain group of individuals that decide, no, we don't want VAT to be increased, or we want VAT to be increased, what will happen, we'll then have to vote for that thing. So the DA, according to Government of National Unity, meaning the PA, the Patriotic Alliance, agreed.
Agreed, yes.
IFP agreed.
Yes.
It's only because IFP is a puppet arrangement of DA. They have no policy direction. So when I see IFP, I see DA.
So what would Mkhonto Wesizwe do differently if Jacob Zuma indeed became president?
My brother, when we speak President Zuma, let's speak of history of what President Zuma did. Like, let us not say, okay, Zuma will do this. Let's look at the history of when he was the president of the country. What is it that he did as the president? And let us reflect on those things that the president did, and then we can say, okay, he will not do those things. He will do these things. But look at during the term and the tenure of the President Jacob Zuma.
Which one, the first one or the second one?
Both, the first and the second.
Remember, Jacob Zuma once led also on 2015 as president, where he took students as well. Majority of them, one of them being Bonkosi Kanyile, they went to prison because of his must fall. So I don't know, should we reflect to that as well? Reflect on issues of fees must fall under the leadership of Jacob Zuma. I mean, that's the biggest massacre that students went through. Yes. Of which still Bonkos is still going through that case till today. Yes. Let me tell you with the ANC, as much as you can be the president, yes, there are people that will control you. There are people that are controlling this country. And it's white people that have money, that have serious investments within the country. So look at it's not only Bonginkosi Kanyile, but there's this comrade from Vets. Yes. But let's Vuyan Pambo. I don't know if you mean that one. No, Vuyan Pambo is from the EFF. Let's talk about Bonginkosi Kanyile, because he's the one at the forefront and one who's known for being part of that initiative. Being part of hence you just said let's reflect back on his office of Jacob Zuma. Okay, yes, we are reflecting on, when you make decisions, you ought to consult. You can't just make decisions. You make decisions on the basis that it went through consultation, and consultation through relevant bodies. So with this thing of fees must fall, obviously as a president you can declare
to say, okay, let fees fall.
Okay.
Let students not pay for anything.
Yes.
But there will be people that are within your cabal that are automatically influenced by certain agendas that will say, no, we are opposing that thing. So being a president is a collective arrangement. You don't just wake up and make a decisions. You consult with the relevant people to say, guys, now fees have to fall because our students are going through a lot. Our students are not eating. Our students are not hungry. And then through that consultation, you'll hear the response.
He consults with who? Who does he consult with?
You have ministries. You have ministry within your cabal. And before, let's say...
It probably means your council around you.
Your council. Your council will definitely disagree with you. You cannot make a decision and everyone will have to agree with it. No. There will be those people that will oppose to say, I'm disagreeing with this particular decision. You understand? So I think those dynamic played when the president, when President Zuma was in charge. That is why there are quite a lot of things that were never maneuvered through the presidency of Nxamalala. You understand? Through those processes of consultation. Yes.
Okay. Also, speaking about presidents, we also have the president here in campus, deployed by the Umkhonto Wesizwe Youth League. That also the treasurer, which is Talifani, once said that we don't have a president here in TUT Social Campus. Also, the coordinator of SASCO said the very same thing. We don't have the president here in TUT Social Campus. What do you think led to that?
I think it's what led to the remarks of the treasury is, there are persona politics, playing persona politics of wanting to distance yourself from that collective arrangement. So what I believe lack from our student representative council, which is the SRC, is unity. And there's
including the president.
Including the president himself.
That you deployed as Mkhonto Wesizwe.
That we deployed.
So he doesn't consult.
I'm not sure of consultations because there are certain meetings that I don't attend as the spokesperson.
You must be sure. I mean, he comes back to the committee that the branch.
Obviously, he does consult because we usually.
You just said he doesn't consult. You don't know.
I did not say he doesn't consult. You don't listen, my brother. You don't come with a certain agenda. Look, I'm saying obviously I don't attend everything of Umkhonto. Sometimes I'm not around. But what I know is that our brothers and sisters are on the ground. They are always on the ground. They are visible, and obviously they articulate issues of critical importance that are happening within this particular higher institution of learning. So one thing that led to the remarks of the treasurer, according to my analysis of things, is the lack of unity amongst themselves. And this thing of persona politics. Obviously, when I'm in your committee, I cannot come to media and declare that so and so in my committee is useless, or so and so is deployed by no. If I'm having a problem with you, let's come on board, let's sit down and let's have a meaningful engagement and see how do we, because let me tell you, if we are going to say these people are not unified, these people are not a unit, then it means the students are going to serve, because it is through unity that these students that we have in this higher institution must be liberated.
You spoke about 3 words. You spoke about reflection, fact, and suffering. January 2025, students failed to register because of the increasing of 10% that they are supposed to pay. They couldn't pay in the presidency of the president and the SRC that you alluded that they're not united. What can you say about that?
No, you know what, Name? We need to be honest when we speak. We need to be very much honest. Sorry. So what happened during the registration period? It was not, yes, the president was definitely had to be on the ground to articulate all of these issues that students were going through. But what happened is that when Project, which is the HOD of finance, got suspended, that's where issues started to rise to say people can't register now. People can't register, and obviously when you go to finance, this remember Project is a superior of these people. These people are inferior to Project, so automatically they can't make decisions if Project is not around. So automatically there's scrutiny. There's a certain level of scrutiny that the management will have to put to those people to say.
But before we come to the management, we have an SRC that students deploy, they believe in, that they will articulate their issues. What can we say about that when they failed also to register when they deployed an SRC council standing for their issues?
Students managed to register.
Many of them left.
It's the nature of institutions of higher learning. There will be those that leave, there will be those that remain. I'm not promoting this thing of students leaving, but the nature of higher institutions of learning is that people will leave on the basis that financial exclusion, on the basis of academic exclusion. So those two things is one thing that
During EFFSC, when they had 4 seats, I mean, they had more seats than other political parties. Mkhonto Wesizwe was not there. The students said it was better during SASCO. Do you think maybe would you come back as Mkhonto Wesizwe student movement during the SRC elections in TUT Sohanguve campus?
So are you saying I should compare the term of the EFF student command as well as the term of SASCO?
I'm saying when EFFSC was in charge.
He was in charge.
They saw a better political party. They didn't come back because of whatever atrocities students were facing. It was not dealt with. So I'm saying, during this seat that you have of having a superior, which is the president deployed by Mkhonto Wesizwe, do you think maybe by these actions that are not are happening, you won't be able to come back as Mkhonto Wesizwe with more seats?
No, you know what, last year there was a smaller nyana gazebo that used to be put there by next to information center. That gazebo had no emblem, my brother, of Mkhonto Wesizwe, indicating that it was just a gazebo taken from the streets. And you know what, many people came and said, this one are just clowning. This one are just clowning. We have a direction. We are strategic in our own nature. You know, so we are very much strategic, and we don't expose our things to the masses. We don't go to SASCO and tell SASCO our plans. We don't go to student command and tell student command our plans. No, we don't do that. We ought to engage our plans collectively and see how we move around. So the reason why I'm speaking of the gazebo that we once had is because many people saw that gazebo and undermined the capabilities that we have, because we are critical in our own nature. So people came to us and told us, we said, no, we won't make it. Mkhonto Wesizwe student movement won't make it. But look, my brother, we came very strong. And in my previous interview, I did say that we are going to govern these higher institutions of learning. This higher institution of learning now is under our government. We are in charge. And there's this thing of people saying, nah, they won't come back. We are saying it's fine. Let them have those engagement. You know, let them have those engagement. We know we are solid. We are solid in our nature. We are very much strategic. We know what we want and we know our plans, and we are going to reflect on our plans and act in accordance to those plans that we have set.
No, I have to let you go. The last question then becomes: what is the vision what is the vision and the mission for Mkhonto Wesizwe in TUT Sohanguve campus in regards to the next year's registration as well? Because many students believe, like Kiyomoheto Masika, believe that there should be a scrapping of registration in all institutions of higher learning.
You know, about that one, I'm not sure of scrapping the registration fee.
It won't happen.
I don't think it will happen. When we speak reality of matters, I don't think it will happen. Because when you look at all these higher institutions of learning, my brother, they all pay registration fee. And at TUT, the registration fee, it's accommodative. It's just 1,500. Go to UP. UP, they will want you maybe more than 7,000. Go to Northwest University, go to VET. So here they understand the poor of the poorest. So what I think needs to be done during the registration period, TUT as a university of technology has to implement technological measures, because it's a university of technology. This thing of student queuing does not make sense.
Do you think maybe the ISRC for Mkhonto Wesizwe assisted also during January registration?
The ISRC.
There was a Mkhonto Wesizwe Trust Fund first.
No, there was not Mkhonto Wesizwe Trust Fund. There was an SRC Trust Fund.
The recall president came to this interview and said there was Mkhonto Wesize Trust Fund.
Who did Mkhonto Wesize Trust Fund funded here in this university?
That's what I'm asking you.
Because as a spokesperson myself, I don't even know that. It's nonsensical. He's speaking something that it's of biblical absurdity. It's nothing. He's speaking something that is out.
So the ISRC Trust Fund did assist students.
We are not sure about that. Let the treasurer comes. I was seeing an interview with him where he spoke about 200 and something students that were funded by SRC Trust Fund. You cannot speak of 200 and something. You are a treasurer. You must speak specifics. You know, when you cannot say I funded 200 and something. I funded 258. I funded 206. Come with specifics.
So you think it was a bizarre?
I think it was a bizarre, my brother. Let those students come and say, unless if they had to centralize it to their political structure. You know, they had to
So no one in Mkhonto Wesize came and said, I was assisted by the treasurer.
No one in Mkhonto Wesize. My brother, let me tell you, I'm pursuing my master's currently. What happened is that I could not register myself. I was looking forward to registering with that trust fund, but that trust fund was centralized to certain individuals, and the person who was responsible for that obviously is the treasurer. What did the treasurer do with that with that thing? The problem is that these people are being controlled.
By who?
Not sure.
By who?
There's a hierarchy in leadership. There's an ISRC, which is the institutional, that is representing 9 campuses of this higher institution. There's SRC. So SRC at some point have to consult with the ISRC. So the trust fund did not come from the SRC. The trust fund comes from the ISRC. And then it becomes distributed to the SRC. Yes.
No, thank you so much, spokesperson Mandla N for joining us in Live Seasons TV.
You're welcome.
I hope to see you again.
Let's hope so.
How were holidays? Did you go to church?
What is church, my brother?
Okay, no, we got the question. You didn't go to church. My name is Lee. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And also, in the description below, be part of the membership. Thank you.
Smoke.